Welcome to Updegree Clinical Data Management Program using SAS. In this video, we will be discussing about the basic concepts of SAS programs that we will be using to do the practical session of clinical data management using SAS. So we will be discussing about SAS essentials. The first topic that we'll be doing under SAS essentials are SAS data libraries. So first let me explain you all what are the libraries. Libraries are like folders inside which the SAS datasets are located. In SAS you have certain windows like results window, explorer window, editor window, output window, log window. In the explorer window are the SAS data libraries inside which the datasets are located. So here the concept of libraries and datasets are explained with the help of an real life example. Say this is a wardrobe. In this wardrobe there are a number of drawers. These drawers are basically the libraries. The wardrobe is my explorer window and the files that we keep inside the drawers are my SAS datasets. Now let's discuss about the different types of SAS data libraries. Basically there are two different types of SAS data libraries. One is temporary library, another is permanent library. Temporary library in SAS is called the work library, which is an inbuilt library there in SAS but which by default is empty. If we create any SAS datasets inside the work library, then those datasets are created inside work library. But once our SAS session is over, then the work library remains, but the datasets inside the work library vanishes. Other than the work library, the rest of the libraries that are there in the explorer window are all permanent libraries. Say for example, if we take the example of SAS user library, it's a permanent library. It is an inbuilt permanent library of SAS which consists of inbuilt SAS datasets. And here I have given another example of a library, that is IR. IR is a library that we are creating. Suppose we have got certain SAS datasets in our computer and we have to pull those datasets in SAS environment. Then we have to create our own library to pull those datasets in the SAS environment. So for that we have to create our own library, and the library that we create, that will be a permanent library. So the example of the permanent library I have given as IR. You can give any name to the permanent library. But you have to remember, though we say that the library is permanent library, it is not permanent in nature. It is only existing during the time of our SAS session. Once our SAS session gets over, the library also vanishes. So every time you start the SAS session and you want to access those datasets inside that particular library, you have to run a libname statement or you have to run a command to get that library back in your explorer window or to get those datasets back in your SAS environment. Now let me explain you all how to create your own library in SAS environment. That is how to get your SAS datasets in the SAS environment. For this you need to know, you have to execute one libname statement. The libname statement starts with the keyword libname. Next is libref. Libref stands for library name, that you can give a name to your library, and then we give within quotes we give the path of our datasets, like where our SAS datasets are present in our computer, that path we have to give. There are certain rules which you have to maintain while naming a libref, that is, you have to maintain certain rules while naming your own library, that is, it should be 8 characters or less. It should begin with a letter or underscore. Remaining characters can be letters, numbers or underscores. So this statement, libname statement, is also considered as a global statement because this statement is always executed individually. So you have to run this command or this statement before you start your SAS session in order to access those datasets. So write this libname statement, then you have to give semicolon to access the SAS datasets. So this is the way of how to create your own library. Next, let's come to the concept of temporary library. As I told you that suppose if you are creating any dataset inside your temporary library, say work, in order to access those datasets in order to access any data set from the library in SAS, the general format of specifying the data set in our program is we have to write the library name dot the data set name. But if our data set is present inside work, it is not necessary to specify the library name as work. Say for example, if we write work.employee, like we want to access the data set employee located inside work, we have to write it in form of work.employee. But if since employee dataset is present inside work library, work.employee is equivalent to writing only employee. Like if you write only employee, just because it is located inside the work library, you will get the same output as writing only employee, or if you write work.employee, you will get the similar output. But by chance, if your dataset is present in any other library other than work, then it is compulsory that you have to specify your library name. So for work library, you need not specify the library name, it is optional, but for any other libraries other than work, it is compulsory that you have to specify the library name to access the dataset from that library. Next, these are the different concepts of SAS programs. The basic two concept of SAS program is proc step and data step, and this is the basic syntax. For now, you just have to remember that any program which starts with the keyword data is called a data step. Any program which starts with the keyword proc is proc step. Okay, and every statement, every SAS statement ends by a semicolon. You can write multiple statements in a single line, provided that each statement is ending by a semicolon. But this is the most conventional way of writing, that is writing multiple statements in multiple lines, or we are writing a single statement in single line. And if a statement is very long, then we can break it and write it in multiple lines. So this is the data step. This is your proc step, where we have done proc print data equal to work.stuff and then run. So let me tell you, there are two basic proc steps which you need to know, that is proc print and proc contents. Proc print is used to display the data portion of the data set, that is the exact data set comes in our report including the observation number. In your data set, we never have a serial number column by default, but when we do proc print on a particular data set, then in our report we will get our exact data set including the serial number column or the observation column. And another is your proc contents data, which is used to display the descriptor portion of the data set, or we can say that it displays the data dictionary, that is the name of the data set, when was it created, how many variables are there in the data sets, how many observations are there, whether they are character variables, whether they are numeric variables, there is the data types of every variables are displayed. Another is proc means. Proc means is used to display the descriptive statistics of our data. This is displayed only with respect to the numerical variables. Like if we have numerical variables in our data, then only the descriptive statistics of those variables are displayed. And here in this data step, we have imported our data. So these are certain examples we have shown about data step and proc step. There are a number of other procedures and tasks that can be performed under the data step or proc step. But I just wanted to give you all an idea of what is the concept of a data step and proc step, because these basic two concepts will be needed for us to do the practical session of clinical data management using SAS. So for now we'll end this video over here. In our next video, we'll be doing the concept of accessing data. Thank you. Goodbye. See you all for the next video.